Well, good Wednesday afternoon. Boy, it's been a day already. Holy crap. What are you doing today, Rick? Well, a lot of things. Doctor's appointment. So, doctor says I got to be put on an antibiotic for because I have fluid building in my neck. Whatever. So we went and picked up all that shit and did the doctor's appointment and the follow-up and all that garbage, so whatever. And then I went and did a little running around. Feller got himself some discounted fucking work boots for fucking like 30 cents on the dollar, so I'm kind of happy about that. They're a little bit fucking tight, but I think in a day or two they'll loosen up. They're not bad when they're on, but getting the bastards on, their slip-ons, holy fuck. I'm used to lace-up boots, but whatever, for the money, I'll do it. And then we're working on this 2017, you like my blood draw? Holy fuck. 2017 Chevy 2500 HD. We're doing a transmission service on it, so right now I got the tranny pan down, draining. Filters popped out, so everything's draining down there. I ordered one of those big square adapter pans from Napa, so the next time I do this, I don't have to make such a fucking mess. Anyway, then we got these guys. So I just got home, got settled in, started working on this truck, and then feed store called and said my chicks were in, so there you go. We got 24 babies. I thought I ordered 30, but apparently I must have talked myself down to 24. Whatever. So, Mountain Dew, because, yeah. So I gotta get this thing, transmission service, oil change. I'm gonna check for tire rotation. If it needs it, I'll do it. And then, that's it. I don't know, how much I can grab you here. It's harder than fuck to see underneath there right now. I gotta get a different stool. That's actually too high. I was gonna get an office chair, but I measured an office chair for a truck like this, which is about the same as my white truck or any other 3/4 ton pickup as far as height goes. You need something that's actually a little bit lower than that. So I got an idea. We're just gonna have to build it. We'll get into that after I finish this. But I got another half-ton pickup I got to work on too. Got to do brake inspection, check engine lights on, runs rough, all that stuff. So let's do it. All right, so I try not to, when I'm getting all oily like this, especially working on this fucking transmission pan, try not to get the camera all covered in transmission fluid because it eats the rubber. So make sure you're putting a new gasket on this. It is a rubber impregnated gasket. Most of the time you can reuse it. If you go online, you can buy the filter separate. Most part stores are going to sell you the filter and gasket kit, set, whatever you want to call it. If you're doing it for yourself, go ahead, knock yourself out. Don't put a new gasket in it. Fucking leaks, that's your problem. If you're doing it for somebody else, put a new gasket in it. So we got the new gasket right there. No silicone, nothing like that. We don't need any of that junk on here. You can, it's got little pegs on it, like there. Line that up. Kind of holds it in place while you're sliding it back in there. There's a little bit of a clearance problem. You go up this, the exhaust one's right here. See up in there. I already put the filter in. I did, when I went and got the chicks, I let this sit and drain, so we're cleaned out. We're going to go ahead and turn this back in. Torque spec on tranny pan bolts is rated about 89 foot-pounds, 100 or inch-pounds, 89 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds, 100 inch-pounds, somewhere in that area. Between 8 and 10 foot-pounds, you'd probably be okay. Closer to 8. I just put back. Okay, so we are refilling the transmission. What I'm going to do here is, this takes 4 to 6 quarts to fill it up on a filter change. So what we're going to do is fill it, run it, and then drop it again. So we'll do that twice, and we'll fill it up. That kind of gives it a good run through versus like a transmission flushing machine. Those have kind of gone by the wayside because there's so many different styles of transmission fluid now. Unless you're a very large dealer or a very large shop that can afford to have a half dozen different machines. Some places do it and they hook in and then they dump whatever in the machine that it needs to be. You still have all that residual in there and all those things that can cause problems. I personally think it's a much cleaner and much safer way to drain it, fill it, drain it, fill it, versus just swapping spit from all these different kinds of fluids and teeing in. A lot of these transmissions have thermostats in them now, so they don't run fluid to the cooler until the transmission gets up to temperature. So then you're trying to load the transmission and create heat in it, and it's, in my personal opinion, drain, fill, drain, fill. If it's a smaller system, maybe you want to do it 3 times. On this particular system, twice, especially with the cost of the fluid. You're looking at $120 to $150 in fluid alone, not including filter, labor, and that stuff. So you gotta, checks and balances. Depends on where you're at and what you can, what kind of fluid you want to run. This is Valvoline full synthetic. It's Dextron 6, Mercon 6, right? Mercon 6. Dextron 6, Mercon LV. There you go. That's what is required for this vehicle. So, I got that set. It's draining down the tube right now. It takes a little bit so you can measure. On the drain and on the next drain and the refill, then I go ahead and make sure we brake clean everything off real good and blow it down with compressed air, get all the stuff out of all the cracks and all the crevices and all that. So now the customer also wanted a full synthetic oil change. 5W30 full synthetic is what we're going to be using as this, so I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. And we'll fire this thing up, run it for a few minutes, and repeat. Fired up. Check tranny level here. Yes, at some point I need to get an exhaust hose and put a hole in the door and blah, blah, blah. I put 4.5 in it to run it on this final check. We're gonna have to put a little more in it. Probably 1.5 quarts or so. So I'll dump that in there. Then we'll take it out. Once we get it to the full cold level, we'll take it out, drive it, get it warm, and then double check it again. So make sure when you're checking this, you're checking it several times, so that way you're not getting an obscure reading because of, especially on your final check. If you're gonna drain, fill, drain fill on this last check. You gotta make sure you're right on. That's the most important one. So right now we're right on the cold side. We're gonna get it warm, take it through the drive cycle, double check it, be good to go.